I was gonna go see Superman today with Nia, but we got too late to start. And I went online anyway to look at the, times for the next day that we'll go. $17.50 for a fucking ticket. I was thinking, like, before I even looked at anything, I'm like, her and I go to the movies, $100 a day. Everything in Hawaii is, you can put a price tag on it before we leave the house, basically. I know I'm going to be spending pretty much. But, yeah, Uber, right, getting there, you want something to drink, or popcorn, or some kind of bullshit from there. It's already $40 just to get in the door. The ride, I don't know, maybe 30? Something like that. Yeah, $100 a day, snacks. And then you have what I call like incidental costs, which I rack up here all day, which is like you're somewhere and you're like, oh, I gotta grab a drink, and you want to get something, or a little something stupid, need a lighter or maybe whatever. That stuff adds up too. I don't even want to say how much I spend a day here to survive. It's pretty incredible. But anyway, yeah, $100 a day to go to the movie theater. I'm gonna go eventually, but and I know it's these superhero movies, whatever. It's more about just doing something, going somewhere. I do want to see it too. I like James Gunn. I like his shit. It's pretty good. Is this Serpent in the Rainbow? It might be Serpent in the Rainbow. No. I don't know, because this the black dude on here like called Serpent in the Rainbow. Because he always has like this white kind of ash stuff on him all the time. I know it's probably just like dry skin, but he looks like he's gonna be in some kind of voodoo kind of thing. Voodoo is fucking, that's just crazy. I keep meaning to talk about that. I can do a video on that someday, because that stuff doesn't play. We have a lot of people here from Haiti now that our government saw fit to bring over. And I've been connecting it to all the missing cats in the neighborhood. There's a lot of signs. I usually stop at them and show them when I'm doing videos, like, hey, look, more missing cats. Because cats are like, the go-to kind of blood source for a lot of this stuff. I mean, just for regular magic too, for people that are doing anything where they need like blood for magic. So I don't use blood in anything I do. I consider that black magic. I consider anything that you need blood to do, even your own, to be black magic. But Haitians, they don't, they'll use that for the voodoo, So yeah, I think there's a connection there. I have to make it because no one else is going to make that connection. But yeah, they're fucking dangerous people, man. Watching today over in England, this one migrant African guy hacked a kid to death on a machete because he wanted his bike. And over in England, they protect the migrants over there against what they call racist British people, the people that are supposed to be there. It's all a plan. It's all, I think people getting hip to it, though. It's like, wait a minute, they're trying to topple all of these Western cities. And by Western, I mean, of course, white, because that's really what we're talking about here. I was talking to Nia today about the 80s. In the 80s, when I grew up, in a town called Methuen, Massachusetts, which was next to the city of the damned, Lawrence. Or at least that's what the media call it. But Methuen was nice. Was an Italian area. Merrimack Valley was really great. Like, in my high school, at the end of the 80s, like 88, 89, I think it was the last year I was in high school before I got kicked out for the second and final time. I had one black kid at the school who was always in trouble we're bringing a knife to school, all this like crazy shit. And we just all figured, well, he has a tough life. Maybe he was, I think he was a foster kid. So, you know, I was still stupid back then. So I'm like, God, poor guy, he probably, you know, foster parents, you know. It was ingrained in me a lot of stupidity that it took a lifetime to shed. We had like a small handful of Asian people. And among them was Nia's sister-in-law, Jeannie, who was one of like the 5 Asian kids at my school. Big world. But yeah. And as a consequence, no one locked their door at night. This is what I hit upon. The only thing you had to worry about in my area was a Jason type figure. The only concern was horror movie monsters, because no one was stealing anything, no one was robbing anything, because we didn't have the people there that did that stuff. So the only thing you had to worry about in my neighborhood were Jewish Hollywood movie monsters. That was it. That was all you worried about. Oh, I gotta get out of this fucking quagmire. I like being in you know, I like being in a herd, especially when you're talking about racial stuff and you got black people behind you and stuff. I could throwing hands at my head. I don't even know what happened. Yeah, you didn't have to worry about anything. We kept our doors unlocked. We didn't have locked doors. Now, if someone woke up in the house at like 3 in the morning or something, and yeah, maybe they'd lock the door. But it would only be because of Jason or fucking Leatherface. That was the only thing you had to worry about, was Jewish Hollywood movie monsters. That was it. There were no murders. No, maybe occasionally someone would steal something from a store. Like kids at the mall would get busted for stealing cassette tapes. My friends used to do that all the time. I never did, because my dad was always like, you know, if you want something, just ask me. I'll give you the money. I don't want you to fucking ever feel like you're got to steal something. I'd rather not have you do that and get in trouble if you just tell me, you know. And yeah, whenever I went to the mall, I was the only one that always had cash. It's almost like he was he saw my friends probably and was like, yeah, I better make sure this kid has money. So whenever I'd go to the mall, it'd always give me money, you know. And I'd buy my fucking music. But, and I'd also lend everybody else money, because I was the only one that had it. But, yeah, it was such a fucking great place to grow up, and a great way to grow up. Like, I can't imagine kids these days. Like, they wouldn't understand, you know, how it was back then. This went on until, I don't know, the mid-90s. You know, the mid-90s, you get too close to people, they start fucking, they latch on you. But, you know, tourists will push you into these people, so I gotta let tourists fucking go and do their own thing. Otherwise, you get pushed in. You know, you can't I'm too nice, so I let them control me, like how I move. Because again, my parents taught me to be respectful. Not to respect people I don't know, black people, but be respectful of people I don't know. You don't just automatically respect people you don't know. Respect, you work on that over time. You get respect. You can be respectful though, meaning don't track mud on someone's fucking carpet. 2 different things. But saying something like that these days, it could get you killed if you're not fucking, if you don't have your head on a swivel. But yeah, it was kids today wouldn't understand that. Oh no, I'm all set, man. Thanks. I think he was selling weed. Yeah, kids would never understand that, like that kind of safety, and it was that way up until like the end of the 90s. At the end of the 90s, we started to, well, actually in my area, right? Earlier in the 90s, you started getting a lot of Latino people. Kennedy, the fucking windbag, the fat one. What's his name? Senator Kennedy. They call him the architect of immigration. He started dumping Latinos all throughout Massachusetts, just filled it up. Anywhere there was low-income housing or where traditionally working-class whites would live, they all get filled up by Latinos. And what happens is, one family would move in, start causing all kinds of trouble, and you had to leave. I mean, you couldn't live there because they made the area unlivable. There'd be prostitution, there'd be fighting, there'd be shooting. And I like the Latinos. Like I have a good fucking rapport with them. I lived among them for over a decade in a Latino community. And they were always cool for me. I never had a problem with them. And we had some black people there too, but the Latinos would keep the blacks in line. Like going to the store late at night, the black guy would always be like, we'll try to rob you, right? But the Latinos, if they would see him trying to rob you, they wouldn't let it happen. They'd step in and be like, get the fuck out of here. The black guys would run away. But blacks are afraid of Latinos because they know Latinos are crazy. But the thing with Latinos is they're very family oriented. They love God. I mean, they play their music a lot, but so what? So do I. There's little cultural things about them that are different than white people. Like, they tend to have kids a lot earlier. Like I've seen 15, 16-year-old girls pushing carriages around. That's morality, though. I mean, that's one thing. But, I never had a problem living among them or being in that neighborhood. It's like a lot of the violence that happened was amongst each other. Like the gang violence, we had some Latin kings in the projects near me, and it was always just the violence was the gangs fighting each other. I never had a problem there. They're always good to me. So, and like, you could walk around. I could go to 7-Eleven, and there'd be kids hanging out there, but they weren't looking to fucking rob me. Occasionally, there'd probably be one or two that would rob me. But if they were black kids, yeah, they would have to. I think they're compelled to. It's part of their thing. They see you and, they're compelled to rob you. But it was different with the Latinos. They really kept them in line. Could use a lot more Latinos here, actually. Going in a Ross, hang on. This Indian dude working at Target. He was nice enough to tell me I dropped some money. He was like, "Oh, your coin, sir." Now, I wouldn't have stopped for it. It was like a penny, but I get it. It was nice of him. What wasn't nice was my response, which was, "Thank you, sir." Why did I do it? I didn't have to do that. He was, what a dick. You had that devil inside you, I guess. I don't know if he picked up on it, but I did my hardest to make it very pronounced. I don't know why. He was being nice. I don't know. But yeah, the people that cause the most problems would never be able to get here under their own power. Now, Hawaii had a problem with Micronesians. Well, they still do. They were a group that their island or their Micronesia was, they had to leave it. The U.S. government claims that it's too irradiated because they were doing military testing there. I think they wanted the land for something else. I haven't figured out what for. I haven't dug into it. I bet I could figure it out if I looked into it. They decided to dump them all here. And the Hawaiians, or the Islanders, Pacific Islanders, don't get along with them at all. I was told when I first came here how they can't stand them, and they do all the crime and stuff. And they do a lot of crime and stuff. They're always like the kids you have to look out for at the bus stop. But not anymore. Now we have guys from Haiti and fucking Somalia here, so those guys are way more dangerous, So, but again, the Micronesians that were brought here, they also couldn't have gotten over here under their own power. The government did that. Anytime you have people coming into your area that don't fit with you, will never fit with you and are just there to threaten and endanger you and your people. They're usually brought by the government. Always. They're always brought by the government. Which should tell you something about fucking your governments. And saying government with an S is kind of redundant, because there isn't governments. There's one government. It's a one world government. That New World Order people always freak out about, that's been in place for years now, decades already. At least since like the 1800s. I mean, the Antarctic Treaty, that was what, the 30s, 20s? Where everybody got together and said, oh yeah, okay, we're all supposed to be fighting each other, and we're all supposed to be enemies, but we all agree no one should go to Antarctica because, you don't want to bug the penguins. There's penguins there. There's not slides of the future creating machine that we've talked about here, where the future you want to create are on slides. You put them into the machine and it makes it happen. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm referring to. I'll come back to that story sometime. But yeah, this fucking, they've always been here. No one's mad at each other. They're all on the same team. They're all doing it. These wars, just blood sacrifice. And if you notice, who dies the most? Not black guys, not fucking Latino guys, not women, not LGBT people. Who always pays the most in blood? Or exclusively. Now there's some black guys in the army too. You know, they got a lot of, they tricked a lot of, well, I shouldn't say tricked, because, well, I mean, I'm using their words. You know, watching these Desert Storm in Iraq, Operation fucking Freedom Prize. It's post 9/11, when they had when they got kids to think that going over there to fight Afghans in the mountains was protecting their country. You know, you watch. I was watching some documentaries with these former soldiers. It's fucking heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking what they did to those guys, you know? I mean, I was just watching it at TV from home, you know? And it was confusing me. You know, why are they all over the mountains here? Because of 9/11. Like, how is this protecting us? We're not being attacked here. Like, the idea was sold to you, like, well, there are going to be a bunch of 9/11s if you don't go over there and die for Israel. Not knowing at the time that Israel was 3/11, you know. And you hear these guys talk now about their experiences, and they all kind of say the same thing. You know, they didn't know why. Once they got over there and, you know, shit started hitting the fan, it's like they don't know why they were over there. You know, but how is this protecting our home, you know? And I was confused watching at home. These guys, they were really confused, man. It's awful. And these things are done to get rid of white people, you know? That's all it basically is. That's the majority of what happens. That's what's going on in Ukraine right now. You know, just, they love killing them. It's a way for them to kill the white man. No countries are mad at each other. They're all on the same side. They all have the same leadership, ownership. What used to be centuries ago just a banking clan, you know, the banking clan is still in place. They still run everything. All this stuff about borders and different rules and different nations, it's just for us. That's just for us to help create the illusion that there are different nations, when there are absolutely not. They're all one thing. They're all one thing. And as such, if they want to disrupt an area, they can move their citizens from this area to that area. And that's, you know, just what's been going on with this, the migrant crisis. You know, they got it all locked down though. They have terminology for every aspect of this thing. So if you ask any questions, they get you covered. Well, they're fleeing from war. You know, they're fleeing from war. Like, what war are they fleeing from? A war of discrimination. It's like, so they're being discriminated against in their home country. Why the fuck are you bringing them to America? We like them even less. No, it's just that we can't say anything or we'll be in trouble. That's all it is. Oh, trust me, there's no one in their home nation that could dislike them more than we dislike them here. It's just that, you know, up until very recently, when people decided they didn't care if they were allowed to say it or not, we've been kind of cocked by everything, by the system, by anything on social media. I mean, how many times have I got banned? How many times have I whined about it on every platform? You know, I'm just finally getting back to have a space on Facebook. And it's all trickery. I mean, I sneak back into these places. I snuck back onto Instagram. I have a new Instagram thing now. I just basically show pictures of Hawaii. And occasionally drop a good meme, but, you know, I got to be careful with that. You got to be careful anywhere. But I think people are just, they're starting to not care because it's getting so bad. You know, where certain people get to act with impunity. And there's one group that's just always getting hurt by this. And we're seeing it change. You know, the Orville Redenbacher window is moving. Not fast enough for me, though. Not fast enough for a lot of us. So until it moves again, which hopefully it's moving as we speak, thanks for dropping in and visiting. Hope I see you again soon. Till next time, don't blame the teacher, blame the school.